I have to get a few things off of my chest about the littlest mermaid and you. Who am I? I'm Mecca. Why am I filming on my phone? Because I felt like it. Because then I can do backs and forthsies with the camera angle like this. So I can spin around and show you guys all the stuff I see without having to worry about everything. Now, we don't. I got to talk to you about The Little Mermaid, though. I've got to rant a little bit before we get into the box office. We're gonna talk about this. We're going to talk about the box office. We're going to talk about how they're adjusting and the review bombing and why it's causing some Istaphobic backlash for erasing, some parts of history with all of its swapperoonies for, diversity and inclusion and blah, 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 blah. But first, I have to talk a little bit about what I've been seeing in regards to reviewing The Little Mermaid. And we're going to talk a little bit about the review bombing, and we're going to talk a little bit about all this. But first off, who needs a review of a Little Mermaid movie? I got backlash when all I did was kind of give you a little bit of a recap and pretty much confirm what you guys already know. It's a cash grab. It's a soulless reboot. They're all like that. It's Disney, right? So who needs it spelled out to them in long form video with a scripted voiceover guy and a trailer playing in the background to spell out to you every little thing? You're not special. You know why a Little Mermaid movie isn't good. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. And if you like it, then great. And if you like the original, great. But you don't need it spelled out for you. It's a very simple, basic thing, which I didn't want to take seriously. You don't take a Little Mermaid movie seriously. That's not the point of this. The point of this is what we do with the marketing and the merchandising and the reviews and the articles and how the public perceives these things. And that's my job. I come in to laugh at all these articles. The Little Mermaid criticized for promoting diversity, advocates for its dangerous erasure of the bad things that happened back then. Like, this is one of the things. Like, I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to say anything. However, she washes up. Well, they catch her in a net. She can't walk or talk, and they throw her in the kitchen. And they don't say anything about that. They don't say anything that, they automatically assume she was cooking in food. See, when I said it, it was a joke to kind of, I don't know, lighten the thing. No. They just went ahead and ignored it. So it's been criticized by prominent media diversity advocate peoples for failing to acknowledge how bad things were back then in the time period that this movie takes place. Marcus Ryder, an influential British campaigner who also chairs the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, celebrated the casting of Halle Bailey, but took issue with the film's glossy depiction of, harmony. Yeah, they think that everybody lived together in peace and didn't have any issues or oh, here you go. It erases these people. I don't think we do our children any favors by pretending that the bad things did not happen and did not exist. And he wrote in the blog titled Disney's The Little Mermaid, A Caribbean Story, and telling the truth to children. Well, here's the thing about that, though. I talk about this all the time with the people who talk about the boycotty things, about what is age appropriate and what isn't. Because a lot of people are like, but Mecca, with this platform, we have to call out and we have to let people know, and we have to let people know that they're targeting the kids with these things. And I always like to remind people, and I always like to say that at what point are we telling people things that are too age inappropriate? At what point do we keep it like at an age level that people understand? And I think with some of the basic stuff, like a Little Mermaid story, I don't know if that's the time or the place. I really, again, this is the type of movie where you don't really need somebody to sit there and explain every detail of every plot beat. It's a movie that is supposed to be something that is generic enough for all audiences to kind of grasp, without being too complex and too overtly whatever. It's shaking keys in front of your toddler, right? And maybe you don't always bring that up. And I think that might be one of the issues that people have with these soulless cash grabs of movies. And here I am spelling it out to you guys. All right, we'll get more into it, though. We'll get more into it. right here. So we see this. So they're having a real big issue with all of this. We owe it to our children to give them the most amazing, fantastical stories as possible to help their imaginations grow. We do not do this by whitewashing out the different. Oh, so they're saying this whitewash the history by these changes that. I think that a lot of this is a lot of people's hearts are in the right place and their heads are up their own backsides. People try and do the right thing, and no matter what, they're going to get criticized. And this movie might not even be a box office success. All right, here we go. No Blueface. This isn't the Smurfs. Here, what it cost and how much it needs to succeed. All right, well, according to this, it's a lot of CGI. Let's just sum it up. According to Screen Rant, the estimated budget is around $200 million. Now, we have the box office mojo totals. I think we still have that from the very beginning of this video. And because it's not making a whole lot of money, it's getting a lot of these little special protections, just like they did with Captain Marvel. Remember that? Captain Marvel wasn't a target. The movie wasn't very good, and you told us we were all istaphobes for saying so. You guys got to stop with these marketing things. I mean, yeah, you know that people aren't necessarily going to be scrambling to Rotten Tomatoes to see what the review of, Captain Marvel or any of this stuff. You just want to know, is the movie good or not? You want to know. And if you've got to remove, a bug for tens of thousands of reviews. No, it literally removed it. They changed the rules. First, they said it was a bug, and then they said, no, we're changing it. We're removing them, and now they're doing the exact same thing with the Little Mermaid, according to CNN, real quote-unquote media. What are they doing to change this? Here we go. The live-action remake of The Little Mermaid stirred strong reaction before production even began. No, they saw this as an opportunity to use this outrage marketing because the outrage stuff gets way more clicks on their articles than the viewing public. Because if you tell me something that, they're all a bunch of istaphobes for it, and then they still have to use that anyway by saying it erased some of the bad things that happened. So, yes, the film has allegedly been targeted by review bombing where people are motivated often by factors that have little to do with the actual film. That's not necessarily true. It's because the film has decided to be this cultural battlefield where the media wants to call everybody an istaphobe before we even said a word about it. Just because they're trying to be more inclusive and diverse and whatever casting they may have. Guess what? She can sing note for note every single word. Not a very good actress. The movie wasn't that good to begin with, though. The movie was kind of one of these kind of corny little saccharine Disney princess movies. That's all it needed to be. That's all it really, really needed to be. But the fact that they have to go out of their way with this stuff, this is why people are going enough is enough with Bud Light. This is why people are going enough is enough with Target. This is why people are going enough is enough with every little thing. We are tired of being outrage marketed to the point of everything being a battleground. This is just a mermaid movie. CNN, this is just a mermaid movie. You don't need to change your rating system to protect a mermaid movie from, we know what it is. Anybody with two eyes can see what's going on. Nobody needs, does anybody need a review of it at this point? I'm just to the point where I'm just rambling incoherently now. And when I start rambling incoherently, I think that's the point. I think that's all the information. Box office. That's the one I completely passed over. Here you go. It's the last day of Memorial Day weekend, and it looks like they're just the production budget without the marketing. So remember, double whatever the production budget is, or triple, or whatever. So at the low estimate, $400 million. It's look. Worldwide, 209. If their whole production budget is $200 million, according to Screen Rant, 209 million is all they've made in a 4-day holiday weekend. And my pop filter says so too. 4-day holiday weekend. Why am I pointing? I should do the politician-y thing where it's like, and this because people I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at the theaters and the movies and Disney and all these people. I am Mecca. Kermit's dead over on my side chair over there in my messy office. I am going to go and film all the Pride things that we're tired of. Even me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.